Hello everyone, I am Roxanne and I am here with Superintendent Dr. Oberg and our school nurse, Mrs. Ely, to discuss the main differences between the common cold and the flu. To begin, Mrs. Ely, what are the main symptoms of the common cold?
So for the common cold, most people would maybe notice kind of like a stuffy nose, a runny nose. They might feel a little congested. Their throat may be hurting due to the drainage. Temperature-wise, probably just a low-grade fever, nothing really above 100.
Okay, and to follow that, what are the main symptoms of the flu?
So for the flu, it basically has similar symptoms to the cold. They are both respiratory viruses, which we are seeing a lot of this year. So for the flu, what you're probably going to notice is maybe the same symptoms, kind of like a stuffy runny nose, maybe a cough. But with the flu, what you're noticing a little bit more is the symptoms kind of come on suddenly. So you may start to feel a fever. You may feel like you're fevered. You may be chilling. So those are kind of like the first things. So more sudden, more of a temperature than you would have with a cold.
The cold and flu season is very busy with the holidays. What are some important reminders that students should know?
I'll take the first part of that, I think. I want to remind everyone that there's some simple things you can do every day, especially during the cold flu season. First, and this is really, I'm speaking to you students out there, but moms and dads, you need this as well. Quality rest. Making sure that you're taking care of yourself by getting that rest, making sure that you're staying active as best as you can. And something simple as even drinking plenty of water to keep your immune system strong. I see this often, and I don't always follow this rule, but it's important that we're also eating a nutritious meal that is rich in healthy grains, fruits, vegetables, and fiber. The other thing is, too, something that we learned and we did very well, and I want us to keep doing this here at McGuffey, but also in your home, is wash your hands. Healthy hygiene starts with making sure that we're taking care of ourselves that way. And this is really a message for everyone, but definitely to our students, those that see moms and dads coming off our buses. Please, when it's cold outside, bundle up. When I see students coming with shorts on and a t-shirt and nothing else, I'm concerned. So please wear appropriate outdoor clothing. Layer up. You can always take that off in school. But again, those are some simple things we can do.
Okay. Those are all good recommendations, Dr. Oberg. I would just like to add to that, yes, those are all good things for being healthy every day of the year. But the biggest thing, just make sure that hand washing is important. Also, when we're out and about, whether we're school or wherever we're at, try to keep our hands away from our face, our mouth, our nose. Always washing your hands before you have to touch your face. Covering those coughs and sneezes is a very good thing, because remember, these viruses are respiratory, and when we cough or sneeze, we are spreading those germs possibly to others that may get sick from them. So those are all very good things to do to keep ourselves healthy and maybe to avoid having that cold or flu or whatever virus is out there right now.
Is it too late? I was just thinking about this as we were talking. Is it too late to get the flu vaccine?
No, it is not. So if you, I'm sure most of you are aware from the news and everything that the flu has hit early this year. There's a lot of respiratory viruses out there, whether it's just the basic cold, whether it's flu, it could be RSV, it could still, COVID is still there also. So many respiratory viruses are out there, but this is the start of the flu season, started early this year, so doctors are still recommending it's not too late to get the flu shot. So if that is something you do or are thinking about, then please do so. And if you have questions, see your doctor, and they can answer those questions for you.
Thank you. With that being said, where can students and families find this information and reminders when considering sending their sick child to school?
So where they can find information is at, there's several websites, the CDC, which that is the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. They talk about flu, colds, all the viruses that are out there around the world. Also, if you want to know what's happening in Pennsylvania, you can go to the Pennsylvania Department of Health, and it has information, and it will show you what the levels of different viruses are, like flu season, what's going on right now, just in our area, so you're aware. Also, a site that I like it's for teens, parents, educators, even young children, is the kidshealth.org. And it is a very good website. It will address any of those respiratory viruses, flu, cold, RSV. It gives information for teens. It gives information for our parents. It gives information for our educators. And so it has a lot of good information at different levels for each of us to understand. So I really like that website.
And before I end this video, is there anything that either of you wanted to add?
Well, I would say, again, we are in the middle of what's being called the tridemic, with RSV, with flu, and of course, still with COVID. So as we did before COVID and now coming out of COVID, moms, dads, guardians, students, our community, if you're not feeling well, please don't come into school. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and by doing that, you're actually taking care of your school community. And I would like to thank Mrs. Ely for coming in, to taking time with us this morning. You know what, let me take that back, because I don't want to time. I never want to date things by saying morning or anything. So can I start over with the
Sure.
thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Ready?
Up.
Go.
I also want to thank Mrs. Ely for coming in today. Her information, I think, is very beneficial for all of us. We are indebted to our school nurses, so on behalf of our school community, thank you for all that you do throughout the course of the year, but especially during the cold and flu season. Again, I also want to thank Roxanne, our moderator today, and again, all the folks that are behind the scenes here in Mr. McCune's Video 2 class here at McGuffey School District.